Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. Live events hitting the streets of Chilliwack this weekend. That includes the Fortin's Car Show. Chilliwack Search and Rescue to receive provincial aid from the budget. That's a first in BC. Also, Search and Rescue getting help from the band, Chilliwack. Also, the city will be asking the province for Crown land, and that's along Hope Slough to build a boardwalk. Indigenous Peoples Day was celebrated this week. A number of activities happened around town, and loads of soccer to talk about. More with Josh in sports coming up later in the show. Our special guest this week includes BIA Director Trevor McDonald and Ellen Dyck of Chilliwack Search and Rescue. Also, Paula DeWit will be back with Dennis and Nora Rackliff and the Chilliwack Harmony Chorus. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Our top story. All 2022 funding received from the BC government now dispersed to ground search and rescue groups right around the province. This is the first year to receive sustainable provincial funding. Now, this is a unique agreement in Canada. It's a first for BC. It's the first time any search and rescue or SAR funding is actually part of a provincial budget. Now, the Fraser Valley is comprised of 6 search and rescue groups. That includes Chilliwack. A total of about $390,000 handed out between these 6 groups. Now, every group receives a different amount. This depends on a formula that's calculated based on ground search and rescue groups' approved capabilities and related qualifications. Again, all depending on need. Canada Day in Chilliwack coming fast, and there will be live events. The Business Improvement Association Director Trevor McDonald and the Canada Day Events Coordinator Margaret Kostreva will be joining chillTV next week, and we'll be giving you the heads up on what will be happening on Canada Day, and yes, chillTV will be part of it. The Fortin's Classic Car Show is back on Sunday, and again, we were talking about Trevor McDonald. He'll have more on this. We have not had a live car show taking over the streets of Chilliwack in 4 years. The last show was 2018. 2019 rained out. 20 and 21, they were canceled because of COVID. So remember, parking will be at a premium. It's going to be warm out. There will be plenty of transit, and dress appropriately. Now, speaking of transit, the BC Transit summer schedule for Chilliwack has been placed online. The seasonal service change includes the reinstatement of what used to be the number 6 bus, now the 56 Cultus Lake. That's service running until September the 5th. So the route departs and returns from Veteran Promontory out to Cultus Lake Elementary School. Now, Sunday service on Route 71 Agassiz to Harrison, that will resume starting July the 3rd. Chilliwack Council honoring the late Mike Choka as the 7th recipient of the Order of Chilliwack Medal. It's an award to recognize citizens for outstanding achievement for contributions to the community. City Council awarded the Order of Chilliwack posthumously to Choka's family on Tuesday. Now, he was instrumental in the growth of the Bowls of Hope program. And now very few people have this order. It does not come out every year. Those other people on that list, that's a short one: John Jansen, the Honorable Stephen Point, Dr. Gwen Point, Brian Minter, Fred Bryant, the Chilliwack Rotary Club, and Dorothy Kostreva. Indigenous BC Corporate introduced their 2022 ambassadors this past week. One of them is Aaron Pete, a member of Chihuahua First Nation, a community located within Stalo. Raised in Chilliwack by an Indigenous single mom born with a disability, Aaron's experience of community support gives him a deep understanding of the value of community. He's a graduate of the Allard School of Law and probably best known for his long-form podcast, Bigger Than Me. So congratulations to Aaron. This Sunday is the deadline for an application from the City of Chilliwack for a license of occupation. This for construction of a boardwalk along the south side of the Hope River Road between Menzies and Williams. This is in Chilliwack. Now, as part of the project, the city will construct habitat enhancements for Salish sucker along the slough from Menzies west to Young. Now, you can comment on this process. It's a little complicated, so you go to the provincial website, you look for Chilliwack, and that's under the file and the title Crowned Land Applications. Chilliwack Community Services is putting the word out about the Summer Reconnect Festival. That'll be July the 10th at the Coliseum, as well as Exhibition Field, and next door at the Landing Skate Park. This also includes a job fair. Chilliwack Community Services has more info on all of their social media. Project AIM, which advocates access to incontinence and menstrual products for both youth and seniors, is holding a garage sale and a fundraiser. This will be in Agassiz, July 16th and 17th. This also serves as an awareness event. Pardon the pun, the aim of AIM is to have products in schools and available on request with no guilt or shame in anyone asking for assistance to get those products if they are financially challenged. Fraser Healthcare Foundation digging in the dirt at Chilliwack General Hospital. Fraser Valley Healthcare sending out a big thank you to Brian Minter and Minter Country Gardens for helping getting everyone's hands dirty to plant a healing garden. That's at the main entrance of Chilliwack General. The plants were chosen for their healing properties by a traditional wellness mentor. The planter includes chrysanthemums, lavender, rosemary, as well as others. This was a big week for Harrison-based country singer Todd Richard. The BC CMA winner dropped his new single right out of the gate, and Todd was also named as one of the artists who will be taking the stage at the Harrison-based Bands on the Beach. That's coming up Labor Day weekend at the Harrison Lagoon. Cultus Lake Day taking over the village on Saturday. The day starts with the parade through the neighborhood. Then you head over to Main Beach, take in the artisan market, the festivities for the kiddos, the food trucks, and of course the beverage garden. More information can be found on the Facebook page Cultus Lake Park. National Indigenous Peoples Day was on the summer solstice this past Tuesday, a special occasion to learn more about the rich and diverse cultures, voices, experiences, and the histories of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. Now in Chilliwack Métis Association also has a barbecue with song, stories, and dance. That's on this Saturday at Métis House at Stalo headquarters. And yes, the infamous bison burgers will be on the grill. After the break, we will have an interview with Trevor McDonald as well as Dyck of Chilliwack Search and Rescue. And then following that, Paula DeWit with Seen Here First. And then more with Josh and more with soccer on sports. chillTV in conversation with Trevor McDonald of the BIA and Dyck from Chilliwack Search and Rescue. And a couple of things happening for Search and Rescue. First off, provincial government shelling out some cash, about 300,000 or so for the 6 units that are in the Fraser Valley. That's great. And now something else that's happening for Chilliwack Search and Rescue involving the band Chilliwack. And Trevor, you were part of this. What happened?
Well, I have to say this is a great story of really great people coming together to do great things. And the end result is a great bonus for Search and Rescue. So I'll give it to you very short and sweet. Bill Henderson, a legendary rock and roll icon, Canadian icon from the band Chilliwack, called up and asked how we were doing as a community, reached out of his own kind heart and asked how we're doing. What can we do to make a difference? And we thought about putting an outdoor show together as a thank you to all the frontline workers and responders and folks like Search and Rescue. And with weather being the way it was, I reached out to the wonderful folks at the Cultural Center, and they without question said that they would come on board, provide the venue free of charge, provide their services free of charge. So now we had Bill Henderson, who, by the way, is doing this free of charge. Amazing. The band is free, the venue's free. And then we thought, well, how are we going to sell these tickets quickly? We called out to some good corporate friends of ours, some local businesses in town who wasted no time to buy $1,000 20-ticket blocks. That way we could move the tickets fast. And in return, they would take the tickets and they would give them back to heroes here in our city. So it's a beautiful cyclical event that everybody worked so hard to put together. The end result is we're a sold-out show this coming Saturday, June 25th at the Cultural Center. So big thank you to Bill Henderson at Chilliwack and the Cultural Center. And the reward from this is all proceeds from this event go towards Search and Rescue. That's why I'm sitting here. I'm so honored and proud to be a part of it, and this is the end result.
Ellen, some of the money I would assume going to equipment and just for anything else that's needed, but that's not where it ends. You still need funding, and how can people get a hold of you? And what type of monies do you need, and what type of equipment do you still need? Because we may have a long, hot summer.
Absolutely. We're always, with being, as our call volume is getting bigger and each year it keeps growing, we're constantly needing to upgrade equipment and add to our fleet, as well as doing more training. So our membership does grow, and we need to make sure that our members are trained adequately for the calls and tasks that we are called out for. One of our big projects moving into the next couple of years is that we're looking at building a new facility for our team here in Chilliwack, and just giving us a little bit more space so that we're able to train and be able to serve Chilliwack.
And you're all over social media if somebody wants to reach out and send some money anonymously or not anonymously.
Absolutely. Or our website, yes.
Ellen Dyck, Trevor McDonald, Chilliwack in Chilliwack helping out Search and Rescue. It's going to be a great show if you've already got tickets. If not, still help out Search and Rescue. And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week.
This is Paula DeWit from Seen Here First, and today we have some exciting guests in our studio. We have Dennis and Nora from the Chilliwack Harmony Chorus. And the Chilliwack Harmony Chorus is a barbershop chorus here in Chilliwack. Yes. Welcome to the studio. It's so nice to have you. It's nice to have some singers here. So
we're not singing today, but
oh, that's too bad.
we could harmonize a little bit, but our chorus is a 4-part harmony, so there's only 2 parts today.
Well, I can cover a part for you.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
Tenor it
good.
is.
We're always looking for recruits.
Yes. So talk to us a little bit about what has been happening with the harmony chorus during COVID. Let's talk about what did you guys do during
the
COVID?
chorus has been here in Chilliwack since 1985 as a men's chorus, and then in 2013 became a mixed chorus, and that's why we joined, because we wanted to do something together, and we discovered it. Actually, Nora discovered it singing at one of the homes here in Chilliwack, and we fell in love with it, the type of music, and it's 4-part a cappella harmony. And COVID has been very hard on our chorus because for 2 years we couldn't rehearse in public or together as a group.
Yes, that's right.
And we haven't performed for over 2 years. So we're back performing, rehearsing live.
Oh,
and
that's
we
wonderful.
We hope to perform on Canada Day for the first time in over 2 years. So
awesome. So how did you guys get together during COVID? Were you on the Zoom like some of the other choirs had been doing?
We did the Zoom weekly, and that's really challenging because you can't actually sing together.
That's
you have to mute the sound and sing by yourself. So yeah, it was pretty challenging. We were able to keep a core group together, but we lost about half of our chorus because of COVID.
Right, so you're looking for some new members.
So we're always recruiting, and we meet Monday nights at the Lutheran Church on Charles Street by the middle school, across from the high school. 7 o'clock Monday nights is our rehearsal night, and we're always looking for new members. You don't have to be an experienced singer, but if you like to sing, if you can read music or not, we have practice tapes that we practice at home. You can learn the music at home, and
it's very convenient. So tell us a little bit about the repertoire. What kind of songs do you sing?
Well, that's an interesting question because we're always trying to improve that. That's actually Nora's main responsibility. She's the vice president of music, so she's trying to upgrade our repertoire a little bit with the help of our chorus director.
Yes, and his input is invaluable because he's been doing barbershop literally his whole life. So we like to think of them as songs of the century, but we do have one that was actually from the late 1800s that we're presently working on, which is a very familiar song to most people. I've been working on the railroad, but it's a really fun and kind of flirty rendition of the song. So we've just recently started on that one. And
do you guys wear costumes when you perform?
Most of the...
We have like a set costume, but sometimes we dress period costumes, which is why we wore the hats today.
Yeah, nice.
Because we do like to do that sometimes. But we're part of a society that's international, that's always developing new music, more modern music in the barbershop style. So we always have new songs that we're trying out and listening to, but our music tends to, go from the early 1900s through the early part of the 20th century. So, but we're getting some more modern stuff, like we have Hallelujah by Cohen,
Nice.
and
Fare Thee Well.
Fare Thee Well and Fields of Gold. And
Will you be performing that stuff on July 1st?
We hope so.
Actually, we've got
Nice.
3 new songs in our repertoire that we're doing on July 1st.
Sounds wonderful. So if you don't have anything to do on July 1st, you should head on down to, where are we going to be
It's the
doing this?
Kiwanis Breakfast
The Kiwanis Breakfast.
at Evergreen Hall, and we will be performing for the first time in 2 years. So
Sounds wonderful and very
Yeah.
exciting. It's very nice to have you on the
thank
show.
you.
Thank you,
And
Paula.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you
very
for
much.
having us. And if you're interested, we do have a website. Look up Chilliwack Harmony Chorus. It has a contact number and more information so that you can come join us or come hear us sing. And
You can
there's
hear us.
some links there to some of our past performances, so you'll hear what it sounds like. So
Wonderful.
maybe that'll be a hook for you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Okay, thank you.
We'll see you next time on Seen Here First.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Sports. Josh here with you once again. Today, we've got a bunch of soccer news to get into first off, so I'm excited. You're going to want to hang on for this first story, so let's just jump into it. The pride of Chilliwack FC and women's Olympic soccer champ Jordan Huitema is coming back to the Pacific Northwest. After an Instagram post by Jordan, it was confirmed by The Athletic that her contract with Paris Saint-Germain, the defending French champions, had been bought out by Seattle's OL Reign. Jordan spent 3 seasons in Paris and is already in Seattle to begin training with her new squad, who currently sit 5th in the National Women's Soccer League standings. We spoke to Chilliwack FC's Andrea Laycock to get her thoughts, and she told us that you can expect a few bus trips down to Emerald City to see Jordan play this summer and hopefully beyond. Yet, after winning the French title last year, like I mentioned, the move is actually another chapter in what's been a bit of a season of dysfunction, infighting, and controversy for the PSG women's squad. I'm told I shouldn't discuss it all in detail, but Google is your friend. Regardless, congrats to Jordan, and welcome back to the West Coast, Best Coast. Sticking with soccer, FIFA has announced that the 2026 World Cup will be coming to Vancouver, with 6 matches being contested at BC Place over the course of the tournament. The announcement comes after a lot of back and forth between FIFA and the provincial government, as Vancouver had initially declined interest in being a host city, citing excessive costs. But given the pandemic's impact on tourism, the NDP changed gears and submitted their application to host at the 11th hour this past April. Toronto will serve as the second Canadian host city, alongside 11 American venues and 2 in Mexico. As a semi-related aside, this has been a very rough stretch for the city of Edmonton. First, Oilers bounced from the playoffs at the hands of the Avs in a sweep, and then they now lose out to Vancouver on these World Cup games despite a pretty substantial municipal and provincial effort, largely due to some demands they made to FIFA about the number of games they wanted to host and the type of games they wanted to host. But the kicker is that they were beaten by the Vancouver Canucks in a race to sign Russian top free agent Andrei Kuzmenko, after it was reported that while Vancouver treated Kuzmenko to the finest dining in Vancouver, Elise Blue Water Cafe, Edmonton met the Russian at the Downtown Joey's. What did the Earls have too long of a wait? Was too big of a splurge? Edmonton, this is why you can't have nice things. This is not helping my West Coast superiority complex. Back to soccer, let's go to Chilliwack FC, who have announced revised fall rates for their players. It's going to be a tiered system with players from players under 4 all the way to the U18s. Head to the CFC website for all the details. Across town, Chackton FC had a good share of news as well, as it was confirmed that TFC will be admitted to the BC Soccer Federation. TFC Chair Derek Epp thanked BC Soccer and called this a significant step forward in their commitment to bring inclusive and accessible soccer options to Sardis. Okay, we're going to move away from soccer now. And as we speak, the Chilliwack Sports Hall of Fame is holding their annual general meeting, after which they will announce their latest inductees. chillTV will have the information the moment is released, so stay tuned to our socials for all the information. And it should be noted that the last class of great Chilliwack sportsmen and women were honored in 2019, so it'll definitely be good to get celebrating Chilliwack's best once again this year. Finally, Agassiz Speedway is celebrating their 50th anniversary reunion at the track this Saturday. The facility started off as Kent Speedway back in the 70s, and this event will open at 4:30 with a meet and greet set for 6. some special ceremonies to honor some amazing guests, including Bunk McKay and many others who have been part of the Speedway's illustrious history, including past presidents, flagmen, and volunteers. All 5 classes will be racing, including mini, street, late models, midgets, and Hornets. It'll be a wonderful night at the track, so head on over there this weekend if you're interested. All right, that is all we've got for sports today. We will see you next week. And remember, if you're ever in downtown Edmonton, there's literally a revolving restaurant just down the street from the Joey's. Just saying. Back to you, Don.
chillTV weather, and just like that, Mother Nature flips the switch, and we're about to complain about the heat. Sunshine, a high UV rating, the temperature around 30, and needless to say, we're going to keep an eye on the freshet in the next 3 to 5 days. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. Don't forget the sunscreen. I'm Don Lehn.